Welcome to YouTube Hell. If you look to your left, you'll see some creators. If you look to your right, you'll see some videos. And if you do a 360, you'll see my sweatshop workers pumping out the next Tibor video. But there is one creator that is not down here in YouTube Hell yet, but she's pretty close. Her name is Piper Raquel. Now, for those who don't know Piper Raquel, she's basically a teen YouTube content creator who's known for making content that feels like a flashbang directly to the face. But unfortunately, under that flashbang content, there's something way more sinister at play here. So I actually talked about Piper Raquel and her whole situation, I think almost a year ago now at this point. But even at the time of that video, I didn't realize how deep this shit went. Like, with that video, I was only scratching the surface here. And now, ever since I made that video, there's been a ton of information that's come out against Piper Raquel and what she's got going on, so let's give you a little rundown here. So Piper Raquel actually got her start as one of those beauty pageant and dance mom kids, which beauty pageants, I don't know why they still exist, especially child ones. It just feels so weird. But anyway, Piper got her start on YouTube when she was around 9 years old, I believe. And obviously, her mom was controlling the whole thing. She was the puppet master, because you can't have a channel on YouTube if you're under the age of 13. The first few videos on her channel, though, are a little weird. And a little weird, I think, doesn't do it justice, but I can't think of a better word to describe it. She's got 3 videos of her doing bath content at the age of 9. I don't know why that's a thing. It makes you question a lot, that's for sure. But most importantly from these bath videos, I want to show you a clip that's really important for the later half of this video.
Hey guys, it's me and Hunter, my brother.
Remember, Hunter, her brother. Now, if you start to scroll through Piper's oldest videos, you'll start to see how the content from today became what it is now. Because once she started including the word boyfriend in her title, she blew the fuck up. I'm talking Hiroshima up in this bitch. What you have to remember, though, is that Piper isn't controlling the content on her channel. Her mother is. So the ideas, the thumbnails, everything on that channel is under the control of adults, which I definitely, absolutely, 100% do not have to be the one to say it. But linking content with sexual undertones to a literal child is fucking disturbing. Keep in mind, Piper is 11 when this stuff is being made, right? Now, somehow her mom manages to take things a step further. I would even go on to say a few steps further, because I built a secret hidden gaming room in my house with a thumbnail intended to get clicks with a method that no child should ever be exposed to. Like, it's so bad, I even remember a thumbnail where Piper was covered in a bath towel like she just got out of the shower. And the link between the thumbnail and title made it seem like she was gonna take off that bath towel in the video. It's super fucking disgusting and weird shit going on over there. So now you understand why her content is the way it is now, where she's got these cheating thumbnails, boyfriends in the title, just really toxic stuff. And you also understand the lengths the 2 adults running the channel will actually go to in order to make some money. That fucking YouTube clout, man, it's a hell of a drug. Now, like I said already, the adults running her channel are the real monsters. Piper's not the one in charge making the shitty content. So let's introduce you to adult number 1 from the Piper Raquel channel, Hunter. Remember how I said he was Piper's brother? It actually turns out he's just their cameraman and editor. Oh, and also, he's dating Piper's mom. I wish I was kidding, man. I gotta say, man, my mind was fucking blown to the stars when I heard that one. I mean, the evolution from brother to stepdad is a crazy one. Keep in mind that as the cameraman and the video editor for the channel, I would imagine he's also the thumbnail editor, so he has equal of a hand in the grossly sexually undertone thumbnails as much as Piper's mom does. There's honestly not a lot I could say about this guy other than what I've mentioned already, which is honestly a pretty crazy resume. The only other weird thing I think I could mention is that he hangs out with Piper and his friends all day. Like, if you go to Piper's older videos, maybe 3 years ago when they were uploading almost every day, he was in every single video and he was just kind of hanging out with them all day. And, you know, it just sits so weird, especially being that he's in his mid-20s hanging out with a 13-year-old and her friends all day. It's just fucking weird. And other than being complacent in the lawsuit, which I'll talk about later, don't you worry, he's just a piece of the puzzle. Now, when you move on to the mom, that's when shit really gets unhinged here. So a channel called Uncle Herman actually made a great video going deeper into Piper's mom and her whole situation. That was a sentence I never thought I'd say. And I highly recommend you check it out. But to give you a very rough summary, basically, Piper's mom does her best to get Piper in front of as many genres of audiences as possible. And it just so happens that one of those genres includes old creepy pedophiles. Now, I totally understand that that might seem like a big stretch, considering I've only shown you the thumbnails and the videos so far. So if you actually go to Piper Raquel's Instagram page and you scroll all the way to the early days, you'll see a lot of pictures of her in bikinis. Now, keep in in mind, she's underage. She's a literal fucking child. She's 12 to 9 years old when this stuff is coming out. The most concerning part by far is the amount of disgusting comments on those posts. And if you go to Reddit, you'll actually see people talking about these posts that Piper put on her Instagram. And you see this disgusting cesspool of just degeneracy and pedophilia right in that comment thread. Now, I'm actually not sure if it's only allegations or if it was actually confirmed to be true, but Piper Raquel's mom has been apparently selling Piper's underwear and old clothes to, you guessed it, creepy old men. I seriously wish that was a joke. Like, I wish it wasn't real, man. I believe it was one of the parents of the kids in Piper Raquel's squad that actually picked up on this, and Piper Raquel's mom said something that was like, oh yeah, people will buy anything these days, and she was so nonchalant about it. I could be wrong, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but seriously, if you want to look more into it and kind of understand the situation better, you should check out Uncle Herman's video. But like I mentioned, since there was other kids in Piper's content, obviously these kids referred that information back to their parents, and when their parents got wind of it, a lawsuit came all the way out of left field at Mach fucking 10. So the lawsuit against Piper Raquel's mom was basically everything I mentioned so far, and it also had mistreatment of the kids on set when they were filming YouTube videos. Apparently they were working 12-hour days with no lunch break, and they didn't even have an on-set teacher for their education, which is very, very illegal, and you'd get obliterated for even trying that on a real film set. But because this is YouTube and nothing is union or anything like that, obviously it's okay. Unfortunately, instead of Piper's mom getting slapped by the meat hammer of justice, she really just settled the lawsuits with $1.85 million, I believe the number was, which honestly sucks, man. Like, I would have loved to have seen that woman get the justice that she deserves. Most of all, I feel really bad for Piper because she was really shoehorned into this growing up. She didn't have a choice in the matter. Her mom kind of just forced her to do it. And this is the only life she's ever known. Even though she's turning 18 soon, I don't think anything's gonna change right off the bat. Because I'm pretty sure that Piper's probably brainwashed into thinking that her mom has her best interest in mind and that she is protecting her and being the best she possibly can for her daughter, when in reality, she's just being used. And Piper's brainwashing is kind of evident when it comes to any instance of her mom being called out. She's so fucking fast to defend her. Unfortunately, the exploitation I don't think is going to be realized until Piper's at least in her mid-20s. Maybe sooner if she's lucky, but which is really sad because Piper has had her childhood taken away from a monster that's supposed to be her mom, you know? And the worst part is, I don't even know what Piper would do if she came to the realization that she was being exploited, because her mom very likely has all the passwords to her social media accounts. So if she ever calls out her mom or argues with her or anything like that, she's gonna immediately get locked out of her accounts. And she's got nothing to fall back on. Not to mention, she doesn't even have an education up to high school level. So what can you even do? I honestly just feel like she'll be stuck in this vicious cycle for a very long time. And again, that makes me feel really sad for her. I imagine when Piper turns 18, her mom's probably gonna get more suggestive with the content, and the stuff and sexualization, as bad as it is already, is probably gonna get even worse. Fellas, I know this was a heavy watch. I wasn't really my goofy self today, but I think it's important that we talk about stuff like this because frankly, nobody's talking about it. Listen, I'm a firm believer that there shouldn't be any child YouTubers whatsoever. If they're the main attraction on the camera, that shouldn't be allowed. And I think the minimum age to make YouTube videos should be hard enforced at 15. Obviously, I know the issue comes with how do you enforce that, which that's a big nut to crack. There's a lot to figure out for that. But what happens is when you have child YouTubers, more often than not, you have power and money hungry parents following along. And when the money hungry parents see the money and financial success that their child YouTuber is bringing in, they go a little fucking unhinged. And I've seen it more than once, and I've seen it in different genres as well. It's everywhere. It's like a fucking plague, man. Anyway, the whole situation, obviously I'd love to see it change, but I don't think that's gonna happen for a very long time, unfortunately.